Good morning, everyone. Great to be with you today. Today is June the 3rd, and we are in Proverbs chapter 22, starting at verse 17. Proverbs 22:17. This is 30 sayings of the wise. Okay? Listen to the words of the wise. Apply your heart to my instruction. For it is good to keep these sayings in your heart and always ready on your lips. I am teaching you today, yes, you, so you will trust in the Lord. Isn't that good? Let me read that again to you. It says, I am teaching you today, yes, you, so you will trust in the Lord. So all of this is being said so that we will learn to trust in God. Verse 20, I have written 30 sayings for you, filled with advice and knowledge. In this way you may know the truth and take an accurate report to those who sent you. 22, don't rob the poor just because you can, or exploit the needy in court. For the Lord is their defender, and he will ruin anyone who ruins them. 24, don't befriend angry people or associate with hot-tempered people, or you will learn to be like them and endanger your soul. Wow, that's a big statement, isn't it? 26, don't agree to guarantee another person's debt or put up security for someone else. If you can't pay it, even your bed will be snatched from under you. 28, don't cheat your neighbor by moving the ancient boundary markers set up by previous generations. 29, do you see any truly competent workers? They will serve kings rather than working for ordinary people. Chapter 23, while dining with a ruler, pay attention to what is put before you. If you are a big eater, put a knife to your throat. Don't desire all the delicacies, for he might be trying to trick you. 4, don't wear yourself out by trying to get rich. Be wise enough to know when to quit. In the blink of an eye, wealth disappears, for it will sprout wings and fly away like an eagle. 6, don't eat with people who are stingy. Don't desire their delicacies. They are always thinking about how much it costs. Eat and drink, they say, but they don't mean it. You will throw up what little you've eaten, and your compliments will be wasted. 9, don't waste your breath on fools, for they will despise the wisest advice. 10, don't cheat your neighbor by moving the ancient boundary markers. Don't take the land of defenseless orphans. For their Redeemer is strong. He himself will bring their charges against you. 12. Commit yourself to instruction. Listen carefully to words of knowledge. 13. Don't fail to discipline your children. They won't die if you spank them. Physical discipline may well save them from death. 15. My child, if your heart is wise, my own heart will rejoice. Everything in me will celebrate when you speak what is right. 17. Don't envy sinners, but always continue to fear the Lord. You will be rewarded for this. Your hope will not be disappointed. 19. My child, listen and be wise. Keep your heart on the right course. Do not carouse with drunkards or feast with gluttons, for they are on their way to poverty, and too much sleep clothes them in rags. 22. Listen to your father who gave you life, and don't despise your mother when she is old. Get the truth and never sell it. Also get wisdom, discipline, and good judgment. The father of godly children has cause for joy. What a pleasure to have children who are wise. So give your father and mother joy. May she who gave you birth be happy. 26. Oh, my son, give me your heart. May your eyes take delight in following my ways. A prostitute is a dangerous trap. A promiscuous woman is as dangerous as falling into a narrow well. She hides and waits like a robber, eager to make more men unfaithful. 29. Who has anguish? Who has sorrow? Who is always fighting? Who is always complaining? Who has unnecessary bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? It is the one who spends long hours in the taverns trying out new drinks. Don't gaze at the wine, seeing how red it is, how it sparkles in the cup, how smoothly it goes down. For in the end, it bites like a poisonous snake, it stings like a viper. You will see hallucinations, and you will say crazy things. You will stagger like a sailor tossed at sea, clinging to a swaying mast. And you will say, they hit me, but I didn't feel it. I didn't even know it when they beat me up. When will I wake up so I can look for another drink? 24. Chapter 24, verse 1. Don't envy evil people or desire their company. For their hearts plot violence, and their words always stir up trouble. 3. A house is built by wisdom and becomes strong through good sense. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled with all sorts of precious riches and valuables. 5. The wise are mightier than the strong, and those with knowledge grow stronger and stronger. So don't go to war without wise guidance. Victory depends on having many advisors. 7. Wisdom is too lofty for fools. Among leaders at the city gate, they have nothing to say. 8. A person who plans evil will get a reputation as a troublemaker. The schemes of a fool are sinful. Everyone detests a mocker. 10. If you fail under pressure, your strength is too small. 11. Rescue those who are unjustly sentenced to die. Save them as they stagger to their death. Don't excuse yourself by saying, look, we didn't know. For God understands all hearts and he sees you. He who guards your soul knows you knew. He will repay all evil as their actions deserve. 13. My child, eat honey, for it is good, and the honeycomb is sweet to the taste. In the same way, wisdom is sweet to your soul. If you find it, you will have a bright future, and your hopes will not be cut short. 15. Don't wait in ambush at the home of the godly, and don't raid the house where the godly live. The godly may trip 7 times, but they will get up again, but one disaster is enough to overthrow the wicked. 17. Don't rejoice when your enemies fall. Don't be happy when they stumble. For the Lord will be displeased with you, and he will turn his anger away from them. 19. Don't fret because of evildoers. Don't envy the wicked, for evil people have no future, and the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. 21. My child, fear the Lord and the king. Don't associate with rebels, for disaster will hit them suddenly. Who knows what punishment will come for the Lord and the king? From the Lord and the king. Proverbs 24:23. Here are some further sayings of the wise. It is wrong to show favoritism when passing judgment. A judge who says to the wicked, you are innocent, will be cursed by many people and denounced by the nations. But it will go well for those who convict the guilty. Rich blessings will be showered on them. 26. An honest answer is like a kiss of friendship. 27. Do your planning and prepare your fields before building your house. 28. Don't testify against your neighbors without cause. Don't lie about them. And don't say, now I can pay them back for what they've done to me. I'll get even with them. 30. I walked by the field of a lazy person, the vineyard of one with no common sense. I saw that it was overgrown with nettles, it was covered with weeds, and its walls were broken down. Then as I looked and thought about it, I learned this lesson. A little extra sleep, a little more slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and then poverty will pounce on you like a bandit. Scarcity will attack you like an armed robber. I tell you, I'm just blown away day by day as I read through these Proverbs at the wisdom that really is presented to us. You know, I go back to what Solomon said. You know, I'm writing these things down so that you will gain wisdom, but also learn to trust in the Lord. As we gain more and more wisdom, we learn to trust in God. Why? Because he leads us in the ways of righteousness, and we see that his ways work. And when you walk in his ways and you see that they work, it builds trust. And so I just encourage you to, again, underline underline, 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 because when you're underlining, you're applying it to yourself. What's jumping out? What's the Holy Spirit saying to you? What's the Holy Spirit speaking, stirring up in your heart and your mind as you're reading? Because we're reading and not just by ourselves, but with the Spirit of God that dwells inside of us and knows the innermost parts of our hearts and our minds, and knows what we need to learn in every moment, right? Every day as we read. What is it that we'll need to know for tomorrow? What will we need to know for next week? What do we need to know today? And the Spirit of God will certainly, stir inside of us those things that we need to understand, and these mental bookmarks, if you will. And so I've got a bookmark here, that was given to me by my friend Roxy. I've got this bookmark, and it keeps track of where I've read. But when we're underlining, we're creating kind of bookmarks of thought of like, okay, this is right now, and you may go back a year from now and may read and something else might jump out at you, these mental bookmarks. But make these bookmarks that guide your thought, and then you can go back over them and just kind of reabsorb. And so as you're reading, something jumps out, underline it. And then when you're finished reading, go back and just kind of peruse over those places where you underline and those things, and just think on them more, and then pray. Then finish up and pray and say, Lord, help me to absorb these truths and to live them out. Help me, God. Help me not to just be a reader of the word, but a doer. Help me to do these things. Help me to apply them to my life so that I can walk in your ways and in your wisdom, so that I can trust you. Okay, well, good news. Good news. We finished up the book of Proverbs. I think today was the last. I'm a little bit sad because I was really enjoying these incredible statements of wisdom. In fact, there were a lot of things that I underlined. There was a tremendous amount of wisdom that God gave us. I mean, but listen to what he said when it comes to hanging out with evil people. Be careful. Be really careful who you bring around you. It matters. It really matters. His statements in here about alcohol. Sometimes we look at the idea of prohibition of alcohol, and I'm not necessarily going so far as to say that we should make a law against alcohol or even be so legalistic that we, that we just bring down these heavy rules about it. But I do think that there is great wisdom in hearing what Solomon said here. He says, who has anguish, who has sorrow, who's always fighting, who's always complaining, who has unnecessary bruises, who has bloodshot eyes. That's the one who spends long hours in the taverns trying out new drinks. And then he says something very important, verse 31, don't gaze at the wine, seeing how red it is, how it sparkles in the cup, how smoothly it goes down, for in the end it bites like a poisonous snake, it stings like a viper. And he's not just talking about a hangover here, he's talking about the long-term effects of a lifestyle where the drinking and the consumption and the lifestyle, it has a tremendously negative effect. So be really careful. And then he says in verse 1, don't envy evil people or desire their company. Be careful. Be careful. So I myself, I live as a product of an alcoholic home. So I know firsthand what it's like, what he says here in chapter 23 about drink and about the effects, about the negative ramifications that it can have on a person and then on a family, they are serious. And so, yeah, just wisdom. Be wise. So that was another one that stuck out so much. So I'm not gonna go back and read to you all of the ones that I underlined, but they're there for you. The ones that you underline are there for you to lead you to wisdom, to trust God. So thanks so much for spending a few minutes with me today on this third day of June. I hope that today is really an incredible day for you. We'll see you back here tomorrow.